Hello, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you. Welcome to the Trade Talks Live. I hope that y'all are ready for an amazing Monday morning. Those of y'all that have been here before, will you please? Hold on.
Two lights.
Those of y'all that have been here before, welcome back. It's Monday. Look. Let's turn the lights on.
Let's get
okay.
some
Let's
lights
put a little light on the
on.
subject. So yeah, we get to do what we get to do, and we love it. We have fun at it, and I am trying to get everything straightened up and ready to go here. But those of y'all that have been here before, welcome back. Glad to have you here. I'm sure you came for the bourbon or the tequila. Not sure which reason. Something new Squirt just pointed out. Looks like we have a sponsor right above our chat, which is actually pretty cool. So hopefully they're paying us a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. But no, this is pretty cool. Might have to check into how that happened because I have no idea. Matter of fact, we need to screenshot that. That way we can say, hey, man, we got questions. I got to fix my mat. Those of y'all that are new here, man, the wheels are off this morning. Those of y'all that are new here, great to have you here. If you've never been here before, this is the Trade Talks Live. We literally have put together a show formula where we're reaching out to sponsors. Hey, Harbor Freight, I see your name up there. But we're reaching out to sponsors because we want to bring in other people on the lives. And we're looking at people that specialize in product, in coaching, in just what's going on. People that
In trades, baby.
Yeah, people that are shakers and movers in the trades, that do things in the trades. We've got some tool people that we talk to and we do some stuff with, and that makes it a lot of fun. But man, let's just jump right in. Squirt, talk to us about Leak Pro, our
I was
sponsor.
going to say, we want to thank Leak Pro for sponsoring today's segment of the Trade Talks Live. They let us come hang out with you guys Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Central. And Leak Pro builds the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. They build a couple different devices that come in the complete kit. Get that complete kit that covers you for indoor and outdoor leak detection location. And it's perfect. If you don't know anything about leak detection, I do a 2-day in-person training here just outside of Dallas, Texas. Get on and check it out at www.leak-pro.com, or you can give me a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO.
Okay, wait, you said 888888. Let's start again.
1-8888-LEAK-PRO.
There we go.
Give me a call. We can discuss equipment and training, guys. Hit me up.
And guys, here's the deal. We want y'all to be part of the show. If you've got questions, if you've got comments, if you think Randy's wrong, I mean, just jump in there and say it. I know it. I just can't always tell him. But really, we'd love to hear from y'all. Look, we both, have you ever made a mistake in the trades?
Yes.
Me too.
And
A shitload of them.
well, and I was going to say, like, I was a little different because usually whenever I would make a mistake, it drove me so crazy. It's like, hold on. How did I do it? Where did I mess up? Hey guys, I screwed up.
Yeah.
Here's how. Don't
Yes.
let it get you. Okay. Because it got me.
and I love that because, we used to do this deal when we'd have our morning huddles whenever I had the plumbing company. And we'd talk about mistakes that we made. Because guys, look, I don't know if y'all know this. I've made mistakes too.
It's the only way to master anything.
It is. I mean, if you're not making
you
mistakes,
have to
you're not
make-
trying new stuff.
That's it.
The funny thing is, though, we did it in a video. I mean, I spilled some lead on our propane tank. Scared the mess water out of me because I'm like, if this thing explodes, I can't get away fast enough.
Yes.
And it didn't. So we stopped, and everybody's like, okay, we'll cut that out of the video. I'm like, no, man, look, I messed up. I don't mind people knowing that. So, understand that mistakes can happen. So we make mistakes, but that's what I love about bringing y'all in, getting y'all involved in the show. Love to hear what you think, what your thoughts are, what your opinion is. And y'all bring value to this too. It's not just us. So let's jump in. I know we talked a little bit long, but national news, AI-powered robots are changing roadwork and concrete installation. Now, and I'm not going to say it's AI, but we've been using lasers. We've been using all kinds of things in roadwork for a while. But this is a little bit different and going a little bit beyond.
A little bit beyond, actually kind of using some robotics and things. Autonomous paving and concrete laying robots are reducing labor needs and increasing job site efficiencies. And this is something I've kind of talked about in recent weeks. I found saw a video of a robot that was setting
Roofs, shingles.
that was doing shingles, and then also the one setting the cinder blocks for a home all the way around the home. No man had to pick up a cinder block.
You know, if I can get a good enough robot, I can get rid of Squirt.
You can.
I don't mean that bad. Love having you around.
That's right.
Nice to visit with sometimes.
It's going to be the super robot 1 billion.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
With
That's the
red
robot
hair
you
and
need to come out.
long red beard. Okay, but this is neat because companies like Built Robotics and Fast Brick Robotics are leading the charge with AI-driven machinery. Now it's the Fast Brick, I believe, that did the
Yep.
house.
I'm pretty sure it was.
I want to build one out of cinder block. I mean, we get we get tornadoes around here sometimes.
I've thought about that because some of the guys I used to work with build in Mexico. Like he's got some land down there. And he's like, I'm building this 10-bedroom house. He wants a lot of kids, all cinder block, everything. And I'm like,
He wants a
Wow.
whole football team or something.
he does. So like he wants to be able to have a basketball team, football team, so that he can rotate them out. No problem. He's got the full
Man.
team ready to go. All cinder block. He said, that's how we do it down there. He goes, and really it's cheap. It's durable. It lasts a long time. It just takes some labor.
Okay, so talking about the robotics and just
Mhm.
in Mexico, we were in Vegas.
Yep.
Eric G bought 5 or 10 acres in Colombia,
Mhm.
building a
Resort
5 or 10
getaway-ish,
bedroom
like-
resort type
Yep.
Airbnb, something, not sure what it was. On 5 acres, on the water, under 200 grand, land and all.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, I'm thinking, I just want to build a house down there. And he said, you could do it. So, man, I was talking
House
to him
and
the other day.
4 Airbnbs, and there you go.
I know. And I'm like, man, what a way to do it. But robotic paving systems can reduce manual labor by up to 50%, cutting project timelines significantly. You guys, you hear us talk about labor all the time. Labor is what costs us the most money. Labor is your biggest risk on any job you ever bid. And I mean, you're an estimator. You know this. This is one of the first things that I learned when I became a superintendent. Because if I can control the labor, if I can keep my guys productive, if I can keep things happening, man, I can do good.
That is how you win the game.
Yeah.
Like, that's the key to winning right there. And then the cool thing, robots don't get tired. At the most, they need a break so that you can fuel it up or
Lubricate
it, some type of maintenance part.
The Tin Man needed oil
The
every now
Tin
and
Man
then.
needed oil. Okay.
I'm just saying.
That's it.
The first
Well, all
robot
these
comes into
moving
my
parts,
mind.
it's going to happen. That's why there's always people there to maintain these and keep an eye on them too, to make sure they're operating properly and everything's getting laid the way.
And I like this. Y'all know I bleed burnt orange. I'm red, white, and blue. Major infrastructure projects in California and Texas are already using automated road laying technology.
Yes.
Maybe they'll finally finish 35 because the road between Dallas and Austin, I started traveling in 1974. It's been under construction every day since then.
Well, and you know,
Every day.
Think about this, because this has been coming for years. Because even when we were doing Great Wolf Lodge, they had all these laser automatic leveling devices
You
to
bet.
do the concrete perfect.
Yeah.
So it's really neat.
Okay, so let's roll into the bottom line. How contractors can cut costs without sacrificing quality.
This is
ahead.
very important because you do not want to give up on the quality portion. Something here like rising material and labor cost, they're squeezing profit margins, making cost cutting materials essential to do a job and not have to rush through anything. You can still be a professional and install it perfect. Go with an alternative material, and this could help keep the profit on the jobs just as high as they are now.
I'm having to check on something
Okay.
here. And you're good. Just keep
Also,
going.
switching to some bulk purchasing or forming partnerships with suppliers can reduce expenses. I go back to a lot of times whenever materials were super volatile, one of my suppliers went out and bought I don't know, it was like 50,000 feet of stainless tubing. And he's like, hey, if you need anything for that project, I got you. So when you lock in for that bulk purchase, whether it's you doing the bulk purchase yourself or one of your vendors doing it and supplying it at a warehouse and having a stockpile for you to lock down from.
I don't see that on here.
Oh,
So
slide that over real quick. Let's see if it's showing up on stream. Yeah, there we go. Those.
yeah, I do have people.
Well, that's weird that, this isn't doing it because
I
it
know.
should.
I know. Okay, so jump in here. Chad Hart says, good to be able to make it this morning. Good to see you in here. Thank you for being here. Zim's Nuts for Guts. How we doing? What happened to doing this on the weekend? Just curious. You know, it's funny. I thought about coming in Saturday and doing a live stream by myself because I was up really early. And I thought about just coming in, turning the cameras, going live on my channel. We did live on the Roger Wakefield Plumbing Education channel. Whenever we started doing the live stream here, we decided, look, we want to do this Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So it's lunchtime on the East Coast. So all the way across the country, when you take lunch, you can jump in and listen to this. And if you really want to jump in live at 10 o'clock, be part of the live stream. So that's why we did it. But I thought about that. I don't know why I thought about it this week. I thought, man, I ought to just go down and go live today. Matt McDonough says, Mr. Miyagi at Plumbing and Squirt. What's up, brothers? Happy Monday and St. Patty's. Boo-boos always happen. Boy, they do. We make mistakes. We all do.
Buddy.
Chad says, I think one of the most quotes I've heard about making mistakes comes from the art of Kung Fu. Well, there's a lot of mistakes I've made in martial arts. Hunter Amis says, I just started my apprenticeship last week. Your advice has helped me a lot. Hunter, thank you so much. And I appreciate you for jumping in and saying that. I really do. And Chad says, I think the best way for contractors to get more efficient is by interacting with the inspector so that they're more collaborative and understanding the codes and the reasons to adhere to it. You know, Chad, I love that because I was always big. Look, I've taught plumbing continuing education. So I love the things that we got to do. So yeah, I think knowing your inspectors and working very close with them is great. Go ahead and finish up on the quality there, Squirt.
So yeah, back to the how contractors can cut cost. Adopting some digital estimating softwares and project management tools to help efficiency and reduce costly mistakes. Having a lot of these automated things, these softwares that are coming out to help you track the whole job a little smoother. They don't have flaws like spreadsheets. Sometimes somebody jumps in and messes a cell up, things like that. It happens in estimating. I've seen it. Sometimes it takes a little while to find that cell that got broke somewhere in that thing too. So when there's a software there to help you track, it's a great thing. Saves you a lot of time. Also investing in employee training that prevents rework and ensures higher quality craftsmanship. Teach them the right way out of the gate. If you've got guys that don't do great craftsmanship, then you're definitely sacrificing the quality. So you may need to make a pivot and adjust there.
And look, guys, the big thing is learning how to cut costs while improving quality. That's what it's about. And I love the fact that you talked about software because look, it's like AI. Everybody says, look, AI is gonna take all our jobs. No, not if you can become the guy that controls AI. If you can write the prompts, if you can make AI do what you need it to do, you can be the one that you're going to be around forever. Because we don't need more employees. We need more managers that understand AI and can make AI do part of the work for us. And I think that's going to be a big deal. Safety, the hidden dangers of silica dust and how to protect your crew. And it used to always blow my mind, when you're around the people doing concrete, because I started out as a laborer. And I mean, these guys just have like a t-shirt tied around their face or something.
Yep.
And I think that they understood that it was making them sick. But silica dust exposure is a leading cause in lung disease in construction workers. Now, in construction, there's really two major things you need to be warned about. Silica dust, which as plumbers, we're constantly drilling anchors.
Yep.
We're cutting holes. We're cutting concrete. We're doing different things like that. So that's big. And then the other one is asbestos. And we're all around it, whether you know it or not. It's funny, I was involved with DFW Airport. It was the American terminal, A terminal. and it was a big remodel, and they broke it down in thirds. The bid on abatement on the first project, the first section, because they divided it in threes, was half as much as it was for the second one. And they're like, yeah, but it's the same thing, guys. And they're like, yeah, but we understood how much money we were going to lose.
Yep.
And this is the only way we can just do it and not lose
Yeah.
money. So if you want somebody else, get them. They're like, no, because y'all are still one of the lowest people, and you understand what's going on. So it's big. The OSHA enforces strict limits on silica dust, requiring wet cutting or HEPA filtered vacuums. And HEPA is big, guys. It cuts that, what is it? A NEMA 8 or something like that. It's not
Yeah.
NEMA. It's shoot. Anyway,
think of it.
there's a word to tell you how good of a filter it is. MERV 8.
Yep.
Different things like that, but that'll cut it down. But when working with concrete, brick, and stone, because it's not just in concrete. If you're cutting brick and stone and stuff like that, you need to remember too, but silica-related illnesses take years to develop. So you could be around it. You could be doing this every day and say, look, I'm tough. I don't have to wear that T-shirt around my face. And guys, a T-shirt's not a filter.
I was going to say prevention's easy. Just the right PPE, not
Yeah.
that T-shirt, an actual mask.
It makes it really, it's the smartest thing to do. And then job site ventilation, respirator use, and regular medical screenings help reduce risk. And I remember I think it was Eric Rios with me one day, and we're working in a bathroom in Republic Tower, and there was a lot of abatement to be done. This is a 50-story office building in downtown Dallas, and this was 1997 or 8, 97, I believe. It's right after I got in the unit. It was probably the beginning of 98. And all these floors had to be abated, and then we're rebuilding them and redoing all the plumbing. So everything. This is the one I told you about where Charlie Yates would take us to lunch about once a month.
Yep.
After we filled up his truck with copper. And Eric and I are working on a bathroom. We're laying everything out and doing this, and all of a sudden it's really dusty, and it's like, man, what's going on? And we look up, and they had pulled a vent out of a hole, and they were abating that floor. They had everything taped off, so we were safe. We walked right straight out of the elevators, right to where we were going, and they had everything else sealed off. But there was one vent hole they didn't seal off, and all of a sudden our room is full of dust. Of course, we're breathing it in, and you want to talk about a plumber going ballistic. Silica's bad, but to me, asbestos is probably even worse. So let's roll into new construction. There's a massive commercial construction boom, and I don't understand this. But go ahead.
Office spaces are making a comeback. Now, since you say I don't understand this, we've been to a lot of major cities lately. How many high rises are going up in every city?
I know.
I mean, like,
but I also drive around Dallas and think, look at how many are empty. Matter of fact, I was in Austin last week for an event at the Omni and going up and down the elevator. And their elevators are so cool because you're in a glass elevator looking inside over this huge lobby area. And across the other side is not a hotel, it's office building.
Oh, okay.
And this is a 20-something story hotel.
Huh.
And I'm looking at about 15 empty floors.
Wow.
So I'm like, that's why I said this surprises me, because even in Dallas, I know there's a lot of open office space, but go ahead.
Yeah. And like, there's some new high rises going in Dallas too.
There are.
Like,
and we see them all the time.
All the time. Despite remote work trends, new office developments are increasing in major U.S. cities. And that's why this one kind of stood out, because we have been traveling to a lot here lately. And as a construction guy, I always look for the tower cranes when we're flying in. It's just like, man, how many cranes are in the city right now?
And the more cranes we see, the better we know life is.
That's right. Yes. We know that business is booming and it's a good thing. Many corporations are investing in hybrid workspaces with flexible layouts and upgraded HVAC systems. Kind of like you're talking here with half a hotel and half office spaces.
I love it. No, it's a neat design.
It's really cool.
And it's the Omni. It's freaking beautiful.
Yeah. New energy efficient designs and smart building technologies are driving commercial construction growth. And it's kind of probably why a lot of the new high rises are coming in, because to go in an old one and gut it, it's a lot of labor to go in and do that. But still less than pouring a whole new building, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right.
Some cities like Miami, Austin, and Nashville,
and I've been to all three in the last year or two,
are seeing some of the fastest office space expansion.
Omni, you need to market that you have open office space and they don't have to build and they can move in now. I'm just going to throw that out there. No, there's so much good stuff, guys. That look, new construction, even commercial. We know it during the lockdown.
Yep.
You know, residential service plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs are essential. We understand that. But it's funny because I'd have plumbers reach out to me and say, well, in New York, I'm a plumber and we're still building buildings. Why is that essential? Is that I mean, look, if you're at home and you need a plumber, that's life and death. That's water.
Are you ready?
Let me hear it.
More people are at home, right?
Yep.
Is the population going to increase or decrease?
Oh, it's going to populate a whole lot faster.
So we've got to keep building.
They're
We
home-
can't stop
they're-
that. All
they're
right,
home
it is essential.
populating. They're home populating. That's a good word.
It keeps it
Get
essential.
populated.
Like, I mean, we know that the population's not slowing, so that's why building can't stop.
It is not. Okay. All right. Ame says, I love Southern California. I'm curious what your thoughts are if doing the PHCC program is worth it or if having the formal school knowledge is worth the extra time and possibly money. And Hunter, this is a great question because I didn't go through the formal training. I went to work open shop, learned everything I learned, got my license. I mean, started companies. I did everything just through open shop. After 17 years in plumbing, I got into the union and loved the education part of it. Now, Squirt came up through the union. So he went through all the union training and got out that way. I love PHCC. I think that being involved in that organization helps people grow. They've got QSC, which is like their version of a best practice group. And to me, and I think is in the unions where I realize this, the apprentices that come in and actually learn and pay attention, and they don't think, look, I'm just coming to school because I have to. They're coming to school because they want to be good. They're coming to school because they want to learn to be better. And to me, those are the students that literally did better. You saw them out in the field. They were making more money. They understood things like, we taught leadership. We taught management. We taught how to get out and run a job and the value of a dollar. And you've got to understand that every dollar that comes into a company, everybody thinks, oh, well, the owner of the company probably gets half of it. So we sold a $20 million job. They put $10 million in their pocket. And no, they were lucky to put a couple of $1 million in their pocket. Yeah. And that's if everything went right. So anyway, understanding all this is good. But to me, I love PHCC. I think joining them would be a great thing. And it's a great opportunity to get in and learn a completely different way, not just in the field with your hands on it. Matt says the PPE is a big thing that people always push away. It's ridiculous. Safety is what makes us go home at the end of the day. So true. Jamie, how are you doing? Good to see you in here. Communicated with her through LinkedIn. Grand Rising, my fellow leprechaun.
That's right.
Randy's a fellow leprechaun. How was your rising yesterday morning?
It took a while. It took a while.
Randy went down to Dallas for the St. Patrick's Day parade. Pretty cool. Okay, so mindset growth, morning routines of high-performing contractors. And I love this because top contractors start their day with clear structure, reducing stress, and improving productivity. Guys, anytime you do something more than once, have a process for it and replicate that process. If you don't replicate that process, stress does happen. Stress does occur. You know what you need to do. Set it up to where you've got the tools in front of you to do it. A strong morning routine includes planning, reviewing schedules, and prioritizing tasks before arriving on site. And I love that because we get notifications the night before telling us what all's going on the next day. And it helps you pre-plan. So that is just phenomenal. And then consistency in morning routines helps manage jobs, sites, unpredictability, and the team coordination. And I talked about when I had Texas Green Plumbing, we did the morning huddles. Well, when I was at Brant, Beard, and Denali, we had a morning safety meeting. And it's nothing more than just mental awareness. You don't have to go into great depth, but you're like, hey, Randy, look, y'all are working on the 24-inch down there. Is there anything y'all need? No. And remember, guys, Y'all are hanging big expansion loops today.
Let's talk chain fall
Well,
safety.
yeah, let's watch your fingers and think about things. Okay, make sure we got things lined up where there's no heavy swing. Center your points. Do this, and you talk about little things like that, and it may be enough to make him think, "Oh shoot, you know what? I need to double check that." And that may mean the difference in somebody going home or not. I mean,
That's it. Like look down every once in a while and check where you're throwing your chain down on a chain fall, because if it wraps your foot, you are going up upside down too.
and that's not a good spot to be on a job site.
So that's it. Like successful leaders also prioritize personal health, whether through exercise or time management strategies. My favorite was the stretch and flex, is what we'd call it.
Yeah,
just a few minutes of stretching your
moving
body
your joints
out,
around.
moving everything, stretching those muscles a little bit, just like any athlete does before a game. Oh, it felt so good once we started doing it, and that became our daily routine. And then more contractors, that just became our normal on large sites.
You know, and I love the way you put that. It's what athletes do before a game. Now, I used to be a season ticket holder at UT. We've gone down for games. We go in really, really early. I like to be one of the first ones in the stadium because I like to watch the stadium just slowly fill up. To me, it's magic. And you watch these players come out, and they stretch and warm up for about an hour.
Yep.
And they're just going to play a 3-hour game.
That's it.
We're going in to do this for 8 hours, and we spend 5 minutes stretching. Okay, I'm good. Let's go. And I remember the only really major accident I ever had was I detached my bicep, which is not fun. And I literally went into the shop and or went into the garage at home, and it wasn't on the job, thank gosh. Went into the garage at home and went to pick up a box out in the garage. It was kind of heavy, and I knew it, but I got my fingers on it, and as soon as I pulled up, it just popped immediately.
Yep.
And I've talked to people who've done it, and they're like, "Man, I was trying to raise a window that was stuck." And it's like you don't think, okay, I need to. Come on, let's
Let me
stretch
stretch
out.
this arm out real quick.
Let me warm my muscles up, anything like that. You don't think about it. So you've got to understand that because it will help you. But in our morning safety meetings, literally, it was more about, hey, remember you're going here, let's think about this. You're going here, let's think about this. You're going here, let's think about this. Guys, whatever we do out there today, let's have fun, but let's be safe. Okay, let's go.
That's it. Like, and whenever you're expanding into a new area, okay, because the crew, this just got released to us.
Open up your
Hey,
eyes.
guys.
Yeah.
Let's do a walkthrough together real quick together and see what everybody notices that looks unsafe, and just make mental note of it. And then we even had to write most of those down.
And that's why I love, whenever I close out the show a lot, it's like, look, or my training videos, whatever you do out there today, do it safe and hit it effing hard.
Yep.
All right. Let's talk about League Pro.
So we do want to thank League Pro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks, where we get to come here Monday through Fridays at 10 a.m. Central and spend lunch with you. League Pro does build the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. I build 2 different pieces of equipment. I build a probe, which is a T-handle style. It's got a stainless steel rod on it, real durable, made for that meter to the home service, anything kind of just out underground. Whenever you go into the home and you're listening through that slab, you really want to have that sidekick ready. It's got an aluminum rod on it, pistol grip style, to kind of make it comfortable for putting under cabinets and things like that to listen to the valves. But that aluminum rod, when you listen through that concrete, it kind of eliminates that concrete for you so that you can hear the leaks that you're listening for. If you don't know anything about leak detection, I also do a 2-day in-person leak detection training out here just outside of Dallas, Texas. I've got 11 leaks under a slab to teach you the full process of exactly how to pinpoint locate leaks. I teach you how to locate those lines first so that you know where everything is. But then also, I've got a sewer system set up out of PVC and cast iron for you to learn how to isolate sewer branch lines from a double clean out outside a home to determine exactly where a sewer line's leaking also. If you want to check out the equipment or the training, you can visit www.leak-pro.com, or you can give me a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO.
Okay. Here's the deal. There's nothing worse than buying a new tool that you have no idea how to use. And that's why, to me, the training is so good. I've studied out in Calabasas. I've studied over in Tampa, and I've studied with some good equipment on some good training locations. But I think we have put together the best training location right here in Wiley, Texas, right outside of Dallas. And if you want to learn to use something and use it right, get trained on it. So contact Square at 1-8888 Leak Pro. Really, it's a great product, and I think it is the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. So if you want to improve as a plumber or improve your plumbing company, great way to do it. Now, talking all trades here, but we're talking about training. And this is why every contractor should invest in leadership training. And I started growing. I started doing things better when I started studying management and leadership. I started hiring coaches and mentors and different things like that. So let's talk about this, because strong leadership improves the job site productivity and reduces turnover. If you're a good job site leader and you communicate with your people, you talk to your people, don't get me wrong, especially if you're in the union, you're still going to get some, there's that political, yeah, you came from open shop, I'm not going to do what you want to do. And to me, there's probably people on job sites I should have got rid of before I ever did. But I mean, you can try to build those relationships. And I used to try to take care of them. But then one last time that they really bent me over, it's like, you know what, I'll win this game from now on. And, you know, in the union, I was a superintendent. I carried the contract around in my pocket. And when they come up and say, you can't do this, like, oh, yes, I can. You want to look at this? Because have you read this? Do you know what all's in here? And they're like, well, just because you know how to read the book. It's like, yeah, so you can read too. But to be a good leader, you've got to understand what rules you have to lead by.
Yes, it's big. And teach leadership to everybody at the company, not just the leaders.
You bet.
Okay. Yeah. It's great to teach the leaders this. Teach those new apprentices coming in. They're not going to understand it all. They're not going to learn from it all. No, but just to start planting those seeds that could grow into big trees is a great thing to do. So do this leadership training for everybody. Good communication skills prevent misunderstandings, leading to smoother operations. If an apprentice can communicate with the journeyman and the journeyman can communicate with that apprentice, things are going to go pretty smooth most of the time. So this is very important. Leadership training also helps contractors delegate better and grow their businesses sustainably. Whenever you start to learn delegation, things like that, when it's time to actually take that next step and pass these parts to them because you're taking over this angle now, learn that through some of this leadership training.
And they call it soft skills. I call it human skills. You've got to learn how to communicate with other people. And there's great books like Having Difficult Conversations, Conflict Resolution, Motivation. But leadership and management is a combination of all this. And I love listening to Tony Robbins. If you want to be a good leader, just start up. I used to get up every morning, get on the treadmill for an hour. I don't do that anymore. I should. But I'd get up for my hour and I'd turn on something like, I'd literally just go to YouTube and search leadership, and his videos come up a lot.
Yep.
Jim Rohn's come up a lot. Brian Tracy's come up a lot. Simon Sinek. I mean, I can give you a list of people. But you get up and you listen to these people, and it just teaches you how to look at the world in a different way and how to be a good leader. So I highly recommend it. But if you'll teach people stuff like this, it makes your job sites better. It makes them more profitable, because a good leader, people want to do things for. And if I've got a good leader and he comes like, man, I need this done, people are like, all right, I'll get it done. And it's funny how that works. But to invest in that training, like you said, train everybody, because that young apprentice that you've got may end up being the next leader of your company.
That's it.
And he's going to learn and grow and get better from day one. And things like that are just phenomenal. Laws and licenses. how to avoid common permit mistakes that delay jobs. And you found some good ones in here.
Yes. Missing permits can stall a project for weeks and cost thousands in fines. Got to stay on top of your permits, keep everything up to date and current. Common mistakes include submitting incomplete applications and failing to check zoning requirements. That's a big one. You've got to make sure that you can build what you're trying to in the area that you are located in. You got to do some research sometimes. Staying updated on local building codes prevents rework and project shutdowns. You do not want to get your project shut down because then that delays it even further. And then you've got to go through the progress to get that permit back, which is going to delay it even further. Digital permitting systems in some states are speeding up approval times. If digital is an option, I definitely suggest it because it's a whole lot quicker that way.
And what else speeds up permitting systems? Do you remember? Talked about this last week.
Well, kind of autofill was what I was thinking about our digital.
Nope,
What else?
What gets a permit moved to the front of the line to get approved faster?
Oh, yeah.
A lead project.
Lead project. Yep.
Yes.
green-
If you're
yep.
building a green building, baby, if you don't
the
have
fast
lead
pass.
people on board, yeah, you get the fast pass at the fair. Pretty cool stuff. But guys, think about that. Anything that you can do to speed up your process is good. But Randy, also when you fail it, you can have other problems too.
I was going to say, like, I've got an example here. A GC in Houston failed to get an electrical permit before trenching, leading to a 2-week project delay and a $5,000 fine. That wasn't in the estimate, guys.
Yeah, and a $5,000 fine probably wasn't a big deal.
Wasn't the big deal. The 2-week
The
delay
2-week delay,
is the big problem.
you're liable to have liquidated damages in your contract where every day that you go beyond the turnover date is $5,000 a day. Now that's 35 grand a week. Now that's 70 grand. That gets expensive.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then if you're trying to make up that 2 weeks, you're pushing the workers harder, which could lead to a safety incident if you're pushing too hard. So all these things can be a domino effect. So make sure to stay on top of your permits, keep everything current. Don't let delays happen because you failed on your part.
I want to say hello to Zim. Zim, good day to you, sir. How are you doing? I hope everything is going wonderful. Angel Vasquez, willingness. Man, like willingness to learn, willingness to do things right. There's so many directions to go with that. And then Maximilian, back in the house, how have you been? Says, appreciate your time for conducting this live. I know it may vary by geography, but is there a foreseeable shortage in licensed and qualified plumbers in the continental United States? Yes.
Big time.
Your explanation of leadership and management, I think, is vital. Your content on YouTube brought me here. Max, thank you so much. Number one, I love what I get to do. Those of y'all that don't know, I've got a YouTube channel called Roger Wakefield Plumbing Education. If you hadn't seen it on YouTube, you should jump over there, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss out on anything. And those of you that are already subscribed here, ring the bell. That way you get notified that we go live every day at 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. But look, I love what we get to do. But the neat thing is it's bringing value. We're trying to build the most amazing trades community because here's the deal. And it's funny because when I hired one of my first YouTube coaches, I called him one day and I said, look, man, my camera's broke. I can't shoot today. He said, Roger, you want me to loan you mine? And I'm thinking, wait, he's got like this $11,000 camera. He's like, hey, just come get it. You use it. I'll get it back when you're done. If I called a plumbing company down the street and said, hey, I need to borrow your sewer camera because mine broke, they'd be like, you know what? Just tell us where you're supposed to go. We'll go do that job for you.
Yep.
And that's the way they are. There's such a silo because we all think everybody's our competition. What we look at is, look, we're the trades guys. We should be working arm in arm, helping each other, learning from each other, helping each other grow. The world needs better trades companies. It needs better tradesmen. And that's why we do what we do. So Max, man, thank you for jumping in here. I do appreciate it. We both love the trades and what we get to do in the trades. We love the life that the trade has given us. and the opportunities. So we're just trying to present that to everybody else. So thank you. But yes, there's going to be a shortage in licensed plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs. Now, we could expand that into pipe fitters and welders. I mean, the list goes on forever.
and on.
I look at the skilled trades and really, I even go higher. It's the licensed trades, because in Texas, you don't have to have a license to be a carpenter, a roofer, anything like that. Even the state of Texas doesn't require you to be licensed to be a welder.
Nope.
You know,
Pipe fitter.
yeah, or a pipe fitter. So I'm looking at those three skill trades because I think residential service is the greatest opportunity in the world for a tradesman to start his own business, grow a business, build a legacy that will take care of him and his family forever. So anyway, I don't want to get on my soapbox, but I'm going to move into now business training, because exactly what I'm talking about, the importance of having a strong online presence as a contractor. Those of y'all that know me know that I had Texas Green Plumbing. I ended up selling it, not once, not twice, but 3 times, and I can't sell it anymore, so I'm done. And we need to make note of that. We need to remember that. But guys, the thing is, having a strong online presence can set you apart from everybody else. I'm gonna say in your niche, in your world, in your industry. But I mean, look at me. I can walk in restaurants and people come and say, "Oh my God, you're the guy that makes plumbing videos."
Yep.
You ever seen that?
Oh yes.
It happens, guys, and it doesn't happen when you think it would happen.
No, like
It's not just at okay, we're walking into a trade show. We know we're going to get recognized. Here we go.
no, we head into the airport to fly somewhere, and we're just sitting there having breakfast. Bartender will come up like, wait, I know you. I know you. And it's like, well, you might. Yeah. You helped me fix my toilet.
When was
Out
I at
of the
your
blue.
house? Well, you never came to my
Yeah.
house. You know, Saturday I go to Rockwall, Rodeo Goat.
Yep.
So
Okay.
the other side of the lake.
Yep.
And I'm out there and I'm eating. I'm not eating. I might have been sipping a green drink or something.
Yeah.
And
Good job.
a guy walks up and says, "Hey, you're on YouTube." And I'm Randy.
Not.
I'm
yes,
in a
yes.
Harley shirt.
Yep.
I didn't have on a baseball cap, but I'm in a Harley shirt. And he comes up and he says, "Man, you're on YouTube." And I said, "Yes, sir." And he just grins from ear to ear, and he wants to shake my hand, and stands there and talks for a minute. He says, "Oh my gosh," he says, "Look, I watch your videos." He says, "I'm a lineman."
Yep.
I said, "Dude, reach out to me on LinkedIn." I said, "I would," because his story was great. He says, "Look, I was doing utility work and plumbing and pre plumbing and stuff like that for a while, and I ended up getting a job opportunity as a lineman." He says, "And I love it," and yada yada yada. And he says, "Man, I still watch your videos." So I said, "Look," I said, "I love your story." I said, if you're local," and he is, I said, "reach out to me on LinkedIn. Love to bring you in and do a podcast with you and just talk about your story. It's really pretty cool." But yeah, and I mean, that's 2 days ago. More than 80% of homeowners search for contractors online before making their hiring decisions.
Yep.
Guys, if you're a contractor and you're online, and if you told me, "Hey, Roger, I'm online," and I go look up your name and your knowledge panel doesn't come up, I go look up your company and your Google business profile doesn't come up, or your Google business page, I'm gonna be like, "You're not a contractor." Don't mean that bad, but there's no social proof.
Yeah.
Google My Business, which is now Google Business Page, I believe. Is it GMB now? I think it used to be Google My Business. Social media and SEO increase visibility and attract local customers. And I'm working on something even newer than that.
Yep.
Media. Those of y'all that don't know, I've been on Dr. Phil. I've been on Chris Cuomo. I've been on the Today Show. And I get to do all that because of how I'm seen in local television. I can do any morning show around and get invited to do stuff like that. But this gets you out there. But then another good, Randy, what is your favorite thing to see people do on social?
Before and after photos.
And you talk about it all the time.
Is transformational. Like the easiest video or article to do out there is a transformational. Here's what it was before. After I was done, here's what it looked like after. Whether that's just pictures or video, it goes a long way.
I like this. And Charity and I have been talking on social media, and I actually messaged you back. I hope you saw that. But Charity says social media is what the current and future generation are gravitating to. Charity, I could not have said that any better. Social media is an impression. You need to invest in impressions. We have celebrity status in our state. When I am in public, people stop us. And to me, I know the feeling. Now, when you get bigger, when you expand that, which is what we've done, and Charity asked me, she says, look, I want to find out who does this for Roger. We do.
Yep.
We do it all. But that's why I'm building this. I think you need well, I've got two different ways I say it. You need social media. You need marketing. You need messaging. You need branding.
Branding.
but then again, you need social media and media. You need real media. So Charity, we're working with a company. I'm working with one of the top PR firms, building a plan just for tradespeople to get them in front of the people they want to be in front of their customers, in front of their community. We're putting together packages where we can get people in magazines, in newspapers, on radio, on television, on morning shows, on all kinds of things. So we're working on some really cool stuff. The progress photos and client testimonials are amazing. And if you've got a Google business profile or Google My Business, whichever one it is right now, I think it's a GBP, you should be putting new videos and posts in there at least once a week, every single week. And investing in a simple website can generate consistent leads without paid advertising. If you invest in organic, now there's a lot of marketing companies that will just screw you over. And I'm going to be honest and tell you about it because it's happened to me many, many times. That's why we started doing everything that we do on social. But that's also why I'm looking at investing in a marketing company to build a company that does things that do it right. So just a lot of different things I'm looking at. There's reasoning behind it. And there's one more thing I want to say. But guys, it takes doing it all. You can't just say, I'm just going to hire a marketing company to work on my website. If you hire a bad marketing company, your phone's never going to ring. You can't just do that. Even if they do it good, a third of the people are looking at websites. A third of the people are looking at social media. A third of the people are contacting friends saying, hey, do you have anybody? So there's different ways to get found out there. And vehicles. How to reduce work truck theft. Now, there's been a lot of posts lately, and I saw a post Saturday. I came in work Saturday morning. God, I think I came in at about 6 o'clock. But, God, was it Saturday morning or Sunday morning? Maybe it was Sunday morning. But I came in at about 6 o'clock, and there was a post on Facebook, this guy posting that he had some press tools and cameras and stuff like this for sale in Milwaukee. Well, then when you look at his site, he ain't a plumber. He ain't in construction. He doesn't do anything. And everybody's like, this guy here's been breaking into vehicles and all this. Well, I go to try to find his site, and you can't find it. So anyway, how do you reduce work truck theft?
Man, honestly, install GPS trackers and lock the toolboxes. Okay, even if you've got a truck, make sure every box on that truck is locked.
It slows people down.
That's it. It's not going to keep everybody out. If they really want in, they're going to get into it. But go ahead and do it because it's going to keep most honest people honest. Because even some of the thieves out there, hopefully they don't want to tear anything up. Really, they're just trying to get the tools, I guess.
Some of them want to tear it up. I've had them bust the back windows out of my van to steal the tools out of it.
We've had Skytrax ran through Connex doors and they couldn't even get into it. All they did is tear a bunch of stuff up, and that was it. Many insurance companies offer a lower rate for vehicles with anti-theft devices. This is becoming more and more normal, getting GPS, especially on construction vehicles, because it's definitely on the rise.
And I'm going to go beyond GPS. Get cameras in construction vehicles. And there's a product out there, and I've seen it before. It mounted in your back, but it viewed your back tailgate. But there's also a camera that viewed inside the truck. So if they broke in or wherever, that you got them. And I think stuff like that is so good to have.
I was going to say, job sites, put fences up with some cameras, things like that. A lot of that, whenever they see it, they're just going to avoid it. They're like, nope, I don't want to even be on camera. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to get caught up. I want to be able to keep stealing. Put some deterrence out there, and it will deter most of them. Not all of them. It's not going to guarantee anything, how our world is, but more deterrence you can put, the more likely you are to be able to come back to your tools every day.
And here's the thing: use multiple security systems.
Yes.
Put the bars on your steering wheel, put the GPS in it, have alarms. And there's some alarms. A lot of people are like, yeah, there's you can get through any alarm. But you know what? You may be able to get through an alarm, but like me, I've got a Revelco system. There's a disc that you have to plug into my vehicle before it'll ever start. Now, I can't use my remote start. I can't use anything like that. But I'm like, you know what? I'd rather have my vehicle than just have my remote start. And they put a sticker on the window on both sides. I'm like, well, y'all just advertising? They said, no, this is really for your good. And I'm like, why is that? So because when thieves see this, they know I can't steal this vehicle. So I'm not even going to mess with it. I've never even had my truck broken into, knock on wood.
Nice.
So yeah, it is. It's a cool deal. All right. Social media spotlight. Now, man, we're talking about electricians again. This is hard to do.
I know. I'm going to have to switch that for Mondays or something.
It's a bad way to start the week. It really is.
Today we've got at Sparky Channel, focused on electrical training, NEC code updates, and practical on the job lessons. I found this guy on YouTube. He hadn't had a post here recently, but kind of goes in depth on some things, which was really neat. I don't know a lot of electrical, not really curious about too much electrical, but I do like some in-depth videos on things and just how things work. He explains difficult electrical concepts with step-by-step breakdowns, makes it easy to follow. One of the videos that I liked, how to properly wire a GFCI outlet. Somebody that doesn't know much about that, I thought that was pretty cool. 2024 NEC code changes that you need to know. Running through different things for all you electricians to let you know what's current, what's coming, what's changing.
And you may know he hadn't posted in a while.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
The last videos were 8 months ago, and the ones before that a year ago. So he may not be posting anymore.
Maybe not.
But there's great information on there. So neat stuff. And here's the thing, guys. There's so much information that can be learned on social media. I literally almost spilled my and I didn't. See, I've got it sealed. It's good. I installed an electrical outlet. Now, I'm a plumber, and I don't like doing electrical work, but I needed an electrical outlet by my toilet. I want to glow in the dark lights on it. No, I literally, I was installing a bidet.
It's for his new disco ball.
It's for my new disco ball that goes in the ceiling. But no, I mean, don't y'all have a disco ball light in your bathroom?
I got two.
I know. It's like, why not? Okay, so we get a little crazy every now and then. But I mean, seriously, look, and I tell people, if people reach out to me and say, hey, man, I'm building a new house, any recommendation? Number one, have it plumbed to where if you want to put a water filtration system in, you've got a loop before anything in your house. You've got a loop, an electrical outlet to where you can plug it in, and a drain. You need that. And put electrical outlets behind every toilet, because you may want a bidet toilet seat. And I love mine. I'll preach about it. I've got my favorite. I've got 3 or 4. So yes, it's good.
Good upgrade for sure.
Okay, so I want to go back in. Charity says you must be visual and credible. I got my first paid speaking event because of social media. Look, speaking events are phenomenal. I love them. I love going to them. But to me, it's because I love helping other people. And so, yeah, Charity, to see that you've got a paid speaking event is fantastic. Have to drop for a meeting. See you at the next one. Charity, thank you so much. Great having you in here. Now, we're going to talk about questions, because AI-powered robots are the big thing. And we've talked about it more than once. But let's talk about that real quick. What is your thought about AI-powered robots, and should contractors be worried about things like that?
And like, if you think it's going to take your job, guess what? It might. Okay. No, I'm kidding.
It might one day, but it ain't
AI,
gonna be that
AI and
soon.
robotics reduce manual labor, but they create new jobs in the operation too. Somebody's going to have to maintain all these robots. Somebody's going to have to program them based on new creations, new layouts, different things like that. Because guess what? We're all humans. We're never happy with the same old thing. We always want to change stuff. So you're constantly going to be reprogramming, changing designs, things like this.
Okay, now I got a question.
Yes.
No, can the general contractors get a robot to do the roof?
Probably.
But my thought is, so this may be a job loss. So and
Could.
that's something you said made my mind think. But wait, but what if? What if general contractor A,
Yep,
invested in robotic roof installing or brick building or masonry working robots?
Yep.
Can they not hire those companies to do it? Or is it going to be too much work for them to have to hire people to train them and know what to train them in?
I was going to say is what you just said is they're opening their own roofing company.
Yeah,
They're not just being a general contractor anymore.
Or they're just adding another service to their
which we've
general
done.
contractor
Correct.
area.
Correct. Like they're rolling out another service that they offer in house.
They're not growing up.
They're not going up.
out.
They're going out.
You bet. Love that.
And I just think of that kind of, as they're opening their own roofing division branch in their house, because they're going to have some roofers that know roofing to what kind of shingles. Is it doing it right? How does it deal with these slopes, these angles, different things? You're going to have somebody knowledgeable in that area, which I know a lot of GCs are in different areas. So it's a possibility, I suppose.
Okay, I love this. So, and here's a big one because you've got a good question. What are the biggest mistakes contractors make when trying to improve their online presence? And I love number one.
Not claiming your business on Google. Okay. Do that. Put your hours, put your phone number, go through and take the time. It takes a little bit. You're going to have to walk. You're going to have to film. You're going to have to do a few things to prove, yes, this is my business. Put in that time and effort. It goes a long way.
Guys, Google's the largest search engine in the world. Let me reiterate that. The largest. If you're not doing things to improve your discoverability.
Yeah, discoverability, I do.
If you're not doing things to improve the discoverability of your company on YouTube, on Google, because remember, Google owns YouTube.
That's it.
Guys, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're trying to win a race, and you've got 1 foot strapped to a concrete block. And my thing is, look, the Google business page is one of the easiest ways to tell Google, hey, look, we want to be found.
Yep.
And by spending time on, I know guys in Utah that charge $10,000 to come in and optimize your Google business. It's not that hard to do.
Nope.
You can spend 2 hours in front of a computer and do it yourself. But, if you want me to do it, I'll do it for $9,000. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's an easy thing to do, guys. But that is one thing that it really, that helps. But then answer reviews. When people come and give you a review, good, bad, or ugly, respond to it. Never ignore them. And each week, take pictures or shoot videos about things you're doing in the field and add that to your page. That's going to help get you found from the get-go. Now, guys, this video is sponsored by Leak Pro. And Leak Pro is the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. Leak Pro is manufactured in the USA, in Texas,
That's right.
just outside of Dallas. Squirt makes them himself. And when you get online, place an order, he's the one who packages the order, puts everything together, tests everything, and ships it out. There's the complete kit, which to me is the only way to go. It is, if you're not investing in the complete kit, you're saying, look, I just want to do this halfway. It's the probe to where you can find leaks underground. It's the sidekicks where you can literally walk in, bend up under, Stick it up under a lavatory or kitchen cabinet. Listen to the angle valves and hear what it's telling you. 2 sets of headphones and the adapters to hook up everything you need. So the Sidekick for indoors is amazing. The Probe for outdoors is amazing. The Probe has a stainless steel rod and the Sidekick has an aluminum rod. The aluminum rod actually helps you hear better, but the Probe has the stainless steel. So if you try to drive it down in the ground, guess what? It's not just going to bend on you. Guys, getting the complete kit is going to set you apart from anybody else trying to do leak detection in your area. And if you call around some of the big leak detection companies, they're 4 to 6 weeks out because there's not enough people doing it. If you want to make more money, if you want to be the greatest, most popular plumber in your town because you do things better than everybody else, go to www.leak-pro.com and check it out. And if you want to get trained on the very best equipment, we do the training right outside of Dallas here. Or give Randy a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO and find out what it takes to get in here and get trained to do it the right way. And at the very last minute, Lori McNeil jumps in and says, Happy St. Patrick's Day. Thank you. And thanks for everything you've done to help us with everything we're working on around here. Guys, it's been a wonderful day. Thank y'all so much for being here. We will be here again tomorrow at 10 o'clock Central Standard Time, and it won't be St. Patrick's Day.
That's it. I was going to say happy St. Patty's Day, everybody. It's Monday. Let's get out there and hit it effing hard. Drink responsible. Bye, everybody.
See y'all, guys. Thank you. TikTok, Instagram. Thank y'all so